Welcome to T. Roy's Card Shack, sports card break reviews, where we personally participate, break down, review, and interview the card breakers themselves. Here's your host, T. Roy. Welcome to T. Roy's Card Shack, sports card break reviews, where I personally participate, break down, review, and interview breakers from across the nation. This is episode 8. We got a good episode coming for you. We're going to talk a little bit about Rookie of the Year, NBA style. If you haven't heard yet, you should already know who won. We'll go over that, where they placed, kind of give you my opinion, but also love to hear feedback. You can go to Instagram, T. Roy's Card Shack. You can go to Facebook, the group. Let me know what you thought. Obviously, everybody knows LaMelo Ball won Rookie of the Year. We'll talk about that. Also, PSA, getting ready to go back in the full swing of grading sports cards. So we'll touch upon that and what their hopes are. There is a grading company that's getting ready to suspend submissions from what I hear. So we'll touch upon that as well. Also, football mini camps are in swing. We'll talk a little bit about who's not in camp, who's not doing well in camp. Also, some people that you may be looking forward to seeing as a rookie. The All-Star game for baseball's in July. So we'll touch upon that as well. And we're going to have a great interview with Facebook's Farrey Brother Breaks. There are two brothers that actually have breaks. They are very affordable. Probably one of the most affordable breaks in Facebook as far as when you look up the breakers. Now, keep in mind, there are tens of thousands of breakers out there. They're not just on Facebook. You have to look at eBay because they will do live breaks on YouTube, also on Facebook, sometimes at the same time. And they'll also do live breaks on Instagram. There are all kinds of breakers everywhere. And they do all kinds of different styles. As you know, if you're just doing a break, you have pick your team, you have random breaks. You could have divisional breaks. Sometimes, like in wrestling, they'll go by the alphabet letters for the last names. So it just depends on what the sport is and how they set up their breaks. So let's dive right in. We're going to talk about NBA Rookie of the Year. Now, as you know, before LaMelo Ball got hurt, all the hype was LaMelo Ball was going to be Rookie of the Year. No question about it. He is lighting up the NBA and taken by storm. He's playing extremely well. And by all means, he got hurt. So when he did get hurt, Anthony Edwards suddenly became favorite to win Rookie of the Year. But that did not uncount or not include Tyrese Halliburton from the Sacramento Kings. He was also a finalist for Rookie of the Year. So as you know, if you've been paying attention, you know LaMelo Ball won Rookie of the Year. Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, as he's known as, came in second place, and Tyrese Halliburton ended in third. That's kind of how I thought it was going to go. Think about it. When LaMelo Ball got hurt, his values dropped in the cards. Anthony Edwards shot through the roof. So it was almost like a gimme that Anthony Edwards was more than likely going to be Rookie of the Year at that time. Nobody was expecting LaMelo Ball to come back for the remainder of the season. Well, lo and behold, as you know, he did, and he still played extremely well, which led to the fact that he earned Rookie of the Year. Whether you agree, disagree, doesn't matter. He won the award. He got it. I truly thought it could have gone either way. But after all the talk and everything I've heard, all the people that I know in the media, I truly felt LaMelo Ball would win Rookie of the Year, in which he did. Now, his cards, as you know, I've actually got fortunate enough to get a Prism orange cracked ice one. And I tell you what, this thing is pretty well centered. So, not bragging, not tooting my own horn. I got lucky. Box from Walmart. They actually had a box. I bought one box of Mega, or not Mega. I'm sorry. These were the hangers. So I got one box. LaMelo was in there. Again, I'm not the type of person that goes and hoards all the cards from retail. Now, this was out of retail. The orange cracked ice is out of the hangers. The pink cracked ice is in the Megas. So got lucky, but hey, I'm not complaining. It's nice to get lucky once in a while. I'll be honest with you. I do a lot of breaks because I'm trying to really review and see where everybody's at as a breaker. So I do get into quite a few breaks. Lately, I have not been very lucky. It's just the way it goes sometimes. You're going to have where you're hot, you're going to have where you're cold, you're going to have where you hit here, miss there, off and on. Right now, I'm cold. Not going to lie, it's not fun. I wish it was better. I get into minis, I don't win them. I get into a 4-box break and don't even like. I got into a 4-box break of Prism draft picks, NFL, and I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's my PC. And then 4 boxes, I got 3 cards. I got a Chase Claypool second year. I got a Juju Smith-Schuster. And then I got a Pat Freiermuth. He is the tight end that was drafted, and it actually was a refractor, so that's the only good one that I got. Unfortunately, I got 0 Najee Harris, and that's who I'm really after right now. I think he is going to be possibly Rookie of the Year. That's just my opinion. No, it's not because I'm just a Steelers fan. This guy is a beast. He practices like nobody's business. They have to send him home. They have to tell him to ease up on the practices. He wants to be great. He wants to be the best. And his work ethic is showing that. Now, there's some great things coming out of Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, which is favored to win Rookie of the Year. But he also is nursing a hamstring. He's got some tightness. As you know, he had, I believe he had his arm operated on. So, but he's throwing well. He's practicing well. So there's no big signs that there's any slowdown from that operation he had. It wasn't a major one. So those are things kind of keep forward as you get into collecting football for the up and coming year. Now, also pay attention to your second year guys like your Justin Herbert, your Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, you got to pay attention to see how he recovers from that major injury he had last year. So keep an eye on that. If he doesn't play well, his values are going to drop. And they may not stay there. He may bounce back later. I don't know how he's going to perform yet. I haven't heard any bad things yet. One player that I have, a quarterback in his second year, Tua Tagovailoa with Miami. Day one, this is flipping everybody out. If you haven't seen it yet, day one of minicamp, he threw 5 interceptions. This should throw some kind of alarm. You shouldn't have 5 interceptions your first day. Maybe it's a new system. Maybe he's not used to it. Maybe he hasn't learned everything yet. Could be, but also alarming. Does that mean dump all your Tuas as fast as you can? No, I'm not saying that. But one thing to keep in mind, going into this season, they know they don't have a great offensive line. Now, they've made some key adds to the offense. They've got Long at tight end. They got Chase, wide receiver. So those things are going to help. They're going to help make a difference, give him more weapons to use. So keep in mind, when you're going into that. Also, Aaron Rodgers, where is he going to end up? How's that going to play on the value of his cards? I really don't think it's going to hurt it at all. It's just like Peyton Manning. I mean, he already established himself as an elite quarterback going to the Hall of Fame before he even went to Denver. Aaron Rodgers has done the same. So even if he does go to Denver or somewhere else, he's already established himself as a future Hall of Famer quarterback. So there's no fear really of his cards taking a dive or a hit or anything else. In fact, if he does go to another team and plays well, just like Tom Brady, those cards will be highly sought after. So time will only tell. So keep that in mind. So PSA, as you know, had a halt to their submissions because they were 1 million cards behind on grading. Yeah, you heard me, 1 million cards. Now, according to their report on July 7th, they are all caught up. Plus, as you know, in the meantime, during this halt to submissions, they did purchase a technology company for grading. They're going to grade cards by computer. Not all the cards. They're still going to go some of your entry level ones, your mid level ones, some of your expensive ones are still going to be graded by the human eye, but your top tier cards, let's say Justin Herbert, 1 of 1 out of flawless, that's going to the computer. Now, here's what I've seen, especially out of HGA. They're the hybrid grading company that grades by computer solely. There are not a lot of 10s. Gem-Mint 10s do exist. They do come out of HGA, but they're a lot rarer. The reason I say that is because they're graded by the computer, which is going to be a lot more technical, a lot more pickier about what it sees. The edges, the corners, the surface, the centering, they're going to have exact diameters on where the centering is supposed to be. So even the slightest bit off that you wouldn't see by the naked eye, they will catch and will make an effect on the grade of your card. Now, where that plays into the fact is you may get a 9.5. There 95% of the cards that I've seen graded lately coming from HGA have been 9.5s or 9s. I very rarely have seen 10s. So what does this mean for the value of the cards? Does that mean that a 9.5 is just as worthy of a price as a 10? No. But it will fetch a top dollar. Your top tier price that you're going to get for any sports card, it has to be a Gem-Mint 10. And now with HGA, they do put flawless or pristine. They are trying to make themselves separate and unique from other companies. And that's exactly why PSA is upping their ante. That's why they bought Gem-Mint, the technology company that's going to grade the sports cards. So keep in mind when you send your sports cards in, depending on what kind of card it is, will depend on who grades it and how it gets graded. So keep that in mind. I do plan on sending my LaMelo Ball in because it's really, by my eye, it's really centered. It's up top, bottom, side to side. It's centered. The edges are crisp. The corners are sharp. There's no lines on the card. It's clean. It's smooth. The eye appeal is there. So I'm definitely sending that in. Now I'm expecting a 9.5 to a 10. That's my opinion, and I could be way off. I'm not a professional sports card grader, but from what I've seen, I've compared to others. That's kind of what I feel. And that's probably the best way to do it. When you have a sports card you want to send in, look up online, find that card, find a 9, find a 10, see what the differences are. Look at the grades. And if you can get a picture of the barcode, scan that on your app on your phone. You can do that. It will pull it up and give you the grades of that card front and back. Now, keep in mind, those grades are centering, surface, edges, corners, and also eye appeal. So, keeping that in mind, go forward with that. Now, I did hear rumors of one company getting ready to suspend submissions, just like PSA did. That is Beckett. Beckett Grading Company is overwhelmed. They are so backed up, just like PSA. They've got to do something to get control of their business. And that is going to end up being halting submissions until they can get caught up and figure out a way to grow and stay competitive with PSA, HGA. There's even another company out that I was pretty impressed with. It's RCG is the initials. It's Revolution Card Grading. They are based out of Georgia, Winder, Georgia. Now, their grading prices fall in line with some of the other ones. $35 is where it starts off, depending on what kind of service you want, and then it goes up from there. Again, that's the way everybody's finally falling into suit, because you remember SGC, they came out with, hey, since everybody's suspended or behind, they did have a fast turnaround. So they upped their prices to $75 a card. I feel bad for anybody who paid that much just for a base card to be graded. They realized they were pricing themselves out of business, so they lowered it back down to $30. I get it. Everybody's going to be, depending on the type of service and how long you're willing to wait to get the sports card back, is going to depend on how much you pay. Now, keep in mind, just because you sign up for a 10-day service does not mean it will happen in 10 days. It still could take a lot longer. So they're working on all the kinks and everything like that. So, and don't forget about SCG. CSG. That's the Certified Sports Guarantee. PMG is another name of a company they own that grades currency. Now, just like PSA is the top dog in sports card grading, PMG is the top dog in currency grading. So if they're that reputable with money, with currency that is worth millions and millions of dollars, just like sports cards, I think they have the integrity with their grading of sports cards as well. They're beautifully encased. They have great labeling. They don't match it to the card. Now, HGA, they'll color match their labels to match the sports card, and so will Revolution Card Grading Company, RCG. They look almost identical to HGA. So it's going to be interesting to see over time. PSA, I believe, will always be the top dog along with Beckett, but who's going to join them? I do think that CSG is going to be one of them. SGC will never be quite as good as them. They'll always be one of the top ones, but they won't be the elite ones. So that's just something to keep in mind going forward. So that leads me to one of the companies that I really like that came out, and I've already done an interview with Andrew Heath, founder of Kid Cards Club. And you can find him at kidcardsclub.com, or you can go to Instagram. He is on there as well. Now, when you go to the website, this is a box that will come once a month to your house. And this box can be catered and designed to one child, one adult, two childs, one adult, one child, three. It doesn't matter. If you have any questions on how you can do this or how you want it done, all you have to do is get a hold of Andrew Heath on his website, kidcardsclub.com. He will correspond with you and put together the perfect box that's going to come to your door. As I promise you, as soon as your kids see this box, they know what's inside. Kids Card Club, collect like a champion. You can't go wrong with that. This is where all the dreams are going to start. This is where they start for all kids when they're young. They want to collect the sports cards of their favorite players. It could be just a base card. I've seen kids cry over just getting their favorite player. They don't have to get the $1 million card. They don't have to get the autographs, but they're stoked just to get the box, and everything that comes with it is amazing. And it's so affordable. As you know, in this industry, especially with retail and hobby, it's gotten quite expensive. Unless you can get them at retail stores before the flippers do, it's very costly to collect sports cards these days. This ranges from $40 to $60 a month. That's it. But you get memories of a lifetime. You'll spend more than that on one break, not even get one card. So why not? Just give it a shot. There's no commitment. That's the best part of this. There's no commitment. Even if you sign up for a regular box every month, you can stop at any time. And if you just want to try it once, you can do that as well. Andrew Heath has a way to make sure you're going to be happy with your box. So check it out, kidcardsclub.com. Go on there, see what each package offers, what would be suitable. You can't go wrong. Well, that leads me to the interview tonight. We're going to be talking to David Farrey from Farrey Brothers Breaks on Facebook. He was prior with Affordable Sports Card Breaks on Facebook. He did separate from that. Just him and his brother have their own page now. I mean, within 4 days, they've gone crazy with getting members to follow them because they are so affordable. They have very good breaks. Everything's right there. There's no hidden tricks. There's no, oh, this, oh, that. They're very reputable hobbyists that do this for the love of collecting sports cards, and they've been doing it for a very, very long time. Again, we're going to be talking with David Farrey of Farrey Brothers Breaks on Facebook. Here's just a few of his clips. Check it out, and then we'll be back with the interview. Here it is.
In our first good rookie, we have Rui Hashimura with the Wizards. Nice rookie there. Here's Carmelo Anthony, and our first Zion sighting. Going to Matt and the Pelicans. A nice base Zion. Anthony Davis and a nice silver prism Cameron Johnson. Some big cards coming out of these so far. And it's only been the first couple packs. A bunch of Suns. Jokic. And another Cameron Johnson blue prism. Going to the Suns and Troy. Cody Martin rookies under the Hornets. And then here we go, John Morant in the house, bunch of the Grizzlies. And Steve, nice of Steve. 2, the Ravens. One of the last teams picked, but going to Michael, we have ourselves green. Lamar Jackson, Prism. Nice green there. Congrats on that, Michael. Here we go. Got our first nice rookie going to the Packers. Jordan Love. Packers are Brian. Nice hit. Very, very nice centering, actually. I've seen some horror stories with these. You guys seen some horror stories. Collins. And here we go. Going to the Packers again and Brian. Jordan Love. Not bad on the centering. Left to right kind of off, but top to bottom's good. But Jordan Love. Yeah. And the Cardinals. Kyler Murray out of 75. Oh, hoping this be a nicer pack, but hey, going this jumbo jersey with Kyler Murray. Going to Alicia with the Cardinals. Let's get this top loaded and show it off. Nice, last team picked again. Going to Trevor and the Vikings out of 75. We got a nice orange etch, Irv Smith Jr. RPA. This one is 63 out of 75. Nice hit.
Guys, you just saw his breaks from Farrey Brother Breaks. David Farrey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. What about you, Troy?
I'm not doing bad. The summer's getting closer. Baseball season fever's here.
Oh, for sure.
Couldn't ask for much more. So you guys, you're with Farrey Brother Breaks. Tell us a little bit how you got started, and because originally I think you guys were with Affordable Sports Card Breaks.
Yeah. So we were. So it all started back when we were like 5 years old. We got into sports cards, and going way back in history. But we've always collected. We've been top-rated sellers on eBay since probably 18 years old. We're 32 now, but yeah, we've been doing cards this long, and gosh, it was probably December of 19. My brother Greg texted me and say, "Hey, do you know about these Facebook groups?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And so I joined a bunch. I just couldn't fathom the amount of collectors, and I didn't know what a Raz was. I didn't know you could take your card divided by like 10 spots and raffle it off. We were always used to selling on eBay and paying the 12 to 15%. So that really opened our eyes, and throughout meeting everyone, we started kind of getting into breaking. But before that, we both got our LLCs, just to help out with our breaks, because it's a nice side gig. But yeah, so we started breaking in affordable sports cars and breaks, and in the last couple of weeks, this is always something we talked about, starting our own group, but just in the last couple of weeks, we decided to finally hit the trigger and started our own break group. When we started breaking in affordable, there was about 1.5 thousand members, and by the time we left the other week, it was probably 11,500. So we met so many great people, and we just wanted to kind of do our own thing and just see what we could do, and just continue those relationships with the people we've grown with the last 9 months, maybe.
Absolutely. I've been watching your breaks for a while. I've been in them. I've actually noticed that, with all the breakers that have come on since the pandemic, you guys are one of the few true hobbyists that have kept it affordable for not only the breakers, but for yourselves in the groups that you're in. And you also have the biggest following, I believe, in the affordable breaks. And I think it was a good thing when you did break off.
Yeah, I thought it was good timing. Like I said, it was a great group to grow in. But we're just all about affordability. You see, I'm not knocking breakers, but you see people take a $300 box and charge $600 for it. Where they get $250 profit. I want to be able to share. Hey, I got this box. Let's break up these spots almost evenly. Plus shipping, just so others can afford it, because this hobby is getting a little ridiculous, but it's starting to kind of make its way back down to what it was. I mean, it's never going to be $100 a hobby box like it was last year alone, but I want to be able to take a $300 box and sell spots for $10 each, just so people can afford it and try to hit their teams that they want and players they need for an affordable price.
Oh, absolutely. And and I've talked about this before. In the early 90s, they had the big comeback with sports cards, and now they call that the junk wax era, because they didn't serial number the cards the way they do now. But do you feel that retail might be mass producing some of the cards?
Well, if you think about it, last year we never had select retail. We never had Chronicles retail, so they keep pushing out. Is it going to be junk era? And maybe the base cards, but they are doing it right by actually putting autos and memorabilia cards in each box. Where when you were kids, you go to Target, pay $15 and get 7 base cards and a rookie card of a no name. So that's the only thing they're doing it right on. But are we heading towards the junk era? I would say no, because with social media and other visibility, I guess, throughout the whole market, I don't think it's going to drop off next to nothing, where you got 900 cards from 1990 downwards in one set worth 5 cents each. It's not going to be like what it was August of 2020, where cards were at the highest peak ever. But it's still going to make a good name.
Absolutely. And the reason I bring that up is because I think there is some of that fear out there, just given a feel around just with the people that I deal with. I interview people from all over the country. So and I'm getting a little bit of feedback of some of that fear, but I try to reassure them that with the serial numbered cards, that's not going to be an issue going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you, Troy. I mean, that's what, you know, back then, like I said, you'd have one Derek Jeter rookie card, 1993 tops, produced a million, where last year you could pull the Zion Williamson out of 10, or even the one of one National Treasures logo man they're offering $500,000 for it. Every year has their cards, but I mean, you just can't trump that and call that junk era, because even if the market, I guess, crashes, let's say,
Mhm.
you're still going to see that for a couple 100,000.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%. No, you guys, obviously you've got a great following coming over to Farrey Brother Breaks. Talk a little bit about, you've got almost 600 members now, I think, and it hasn't even been but a few days, I think, or maybe a week. Talk a little bit about how you guys have responded to that and where you're hoping to go in the future.
So it's actually, I think we're at 750, which is nice. Um, we started sending out invites, let's say it was about 4 days ago, but you know, first off, when I started sending invites, my Facebook crashed, which is a good sign. I couldn't approve people, couldn't invite people. It just shows the collectors that are like-minded with us, that just love the hobby and just want to get on cheap breaks. And I just really appreciate our members. But where we want to go forward, I mean, we want to give out giveaways, because you do have to grow a group, but it's not like, hey, let's hit 2,000 members and we're going to stop giveaways. We wanted to start from the beginning with an awesome giveaway to get people in. But like I said, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue our affordable breaks, and we're going to continue giveaways, whether it's monthly, if it's every 10 breaks. But we just want to give back any chance we get.
Absolutely. And talk a little bit about the sports that you break. I know you do football, baseball, basketball. Do you do hockey too, or NASCAR?
Actually, we have NASCAR coming in when they release Chronicles, but we're gonna have to figure out if we have the crowd for that. But hockey, if we get them from our distributor, I mean, I've lined boxes for hobby at cost, just because I don't collect hockey. But once we find out what members do, maybe that's something we can start as well. But yeah, right now we're focusing on the basketball, football, and baseball, just because those are obviously the three major sports. We have tons of soccer coming in, so we're going to be putting out polls for that to see who likes that. Because I mean, I opened a box of 2020 Obsidian Soccer. I got junk, but I looked up autos. There's a David Beckham auto that sells for like 50,000 alone out of Obsidian, and there's like 10 of them. So it's like, that's a good chaser.
Oh
So
yeah.
soccer, I mean, is obviously making a big comeback, and with the World Cup coming up soon, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it'll give you more focus on it.
Oh, absolutely. Tell everybody about where they can find you. What avenues are you on? Just Facebook? Or are you on Instagram? Do you have a separate website?
So we're thinking about developing a website, but right now we're just on Facebook. You can look us up, Farrey Brother Breaks, FARREY, and we'd be happy to have anyone who loves the
That
hobby
sounds
just as much as we do.
absolutely. And again, that's why I wanted to have you on. I really appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit with people about your breaks, because they truly are one of the most affordable breaks that I've found out there. And I look forward to talking to you guys again and doing a lot more of your breaks.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Troy. Looking forward
All
to
right.
having you.
Thanks again, and you have a good night.
Thanks, you too, Troy. Take care.
All
We'll see you
right. Bye
soon.
bye now.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was a great interview with David Farrey. I'm telling you, you get a chance, go on to Facebook, check it out. Everybody's really friendly in the group. I've had times where people will give up their spot because I was behind, or I've given up a spot before so people can get in. Their brakes are so affordable. They give you, like he said in the interview, a heads up the day before what they're going to be posting the next day so you can pay attention and get ready to get in. I promise his brakes go fast. They fill up faster than you can blink. So you get in, they're fun, they're exciting. He does a great job at shipping them to your house. They're professionally packed, secure, and safely. So again, check it out. Farrey Brothers Brakes on Facebook. Can't go wrong. Well, this leads me to one of my favorite parts of the show. That's T. Roy's Breakers Tip of the Day. Now, this tip is going to be for those who buy into brakes. Buyer beware. Now, if you're getting into new brakes, depending on where at, you have to be careful. Now, here is where I want you to be careful. Instagram. I'm not knocking it. There are great people on Instagram that do brakes, but there are also a lot of not true hobbyists out there just trying to make a quick buck. Don't jump on the hottest thing just because it's out. Look for the best deals. Look for the true breakers, the true hobbyists that are not trying to rip you off. Now, unfortunately, some of the product is going to be expensive and the brakes are going to be costly, depending on what team you're going for. But be careful, please. And if you do any deals on either Instagram or any of these brakes, if you get on a page you're not familiar with, don't be afraid to ask for references, of people they've done deals with before. So that way, you're not getting ripped off. Now, one thing, I actually did a card deal on Instagram. I sold a Tom Brady card. The gentleman asked me to go live so he could see the card, and I had no problem with that. If it's a true, reputable person that actually has the card, they'll have no problem going live, showing you the card. I showed him the corners, the edges, held it real close to the camera so he could see. He was very happy. I even sent him the tracking information, and it was a great deal all the way around. He got what he wanted. I got what I wanted without gouging, without killing him for price. And that's really what this is all about. So again, my tip is for you guys buying into brakes. Buyer beware. Just be careful who you're buying with. Well, it's been a great show. I look forward to next time. I'm going to possibly change it up going forward. I want to do more episodes. So it's hard to coordinate interviews, basically because time zones are so different across the country. So I'm actually going to do some episodes where I just review brakes without the interviews. Not a lot, but I'm going to throw a few in there. And I want to start showing you some of the brakes to be aware of too. Ones that may be a little shady. So that's going to be helpful for you going forward. Again, thanks guys for joining in, watching the episode. Be safe, brake safe. See you next time.